thank you for Judy, Mary, and everybody here that has allowed us to come back, and we appreciate you being here and staying here, and I appreciate if you don't press those little fuzzies while I talk, it'll be a lot easier, but they are cute. All right, let me just move along. See, forward-looking statement, so I'm now protected for all you government officials. All right, executive summary. Let's take a quick look, at a very high level. We are looking for $300,000 in capital, and even more importantly, we are looking at this stage to increase the awareness of the company, of the stock. We're trading on the OTC Bulletin Board, SFOR. We're trading below a penny, so I think at the end of this discussion, you will hear the opportunity is pretty large of what's in front of us. We have two major products, and we have others, but the two main ones, we have the StrikeForce's Protect ID product, two-factor and out-of-band. That's getting to be very critical as the RSA tokens have been breached. More people are walking away from them, and we're getting those deals, which I'll talk about. So we're very well positioned between that and the patent for out-of-band authentication, very well positioned to be in an M&A opportunity over the next year to 2 years. Very, very important for us in terms of our exit strategy. Our Guard ID product, anti-encryption and keystroke encryption and anti-key logging. A year ago, 6 months ago when I was here, I asked who knew about key logging, and just about 2 people raised their hands. I think everyone in this audience by now has heard the term of a key logging virus, stealing your keystrokes. Over 80% of all the data breaches that have happened in the past year, based on the Verizon data reports, were done by key logging. RSA, #1 authentication company, had their algorithm stolen for their token. That was stolen through a key logger. And you could be sure the antivirus programs have been running on those computers. They really don't stop anything real time, and only up to 6 to 20% of anything beyond that. So you need more. You need our product. And that's what Guard ID does, and you'll see some of the clients we've been getting over the past year to prove that is the case. People are nervous, and they're buying product, spending money. We have limited competition in both cases, and whether we run into them, we beat them. I'll mention a few of those products. Some of our key clients are Morgan Stanley, Comcast, which is one of the largest network companies there are, Intersections with the product of Identity Guard, Sallie Mae, a major deal we won this fall, many banks, and in healthcare, Children's National Hospital area, in this area, that whole group went with us. We are actually reaching a cash flow positive position by the end of this year with the contracts already in hand and the revenues already coming in. You will be over $1 million in revenues this year, probably a good bit higher. We have given guidance on that, and we are on target and ahead of target as of today. And that can, by tomorrow, be a lot higher based on some of the deals in play. Again, our exit strategy is to get the products, not the company, but the products bought out. We spend a lot of time with Quorum. They've given us good heads up, where there are companies that would buy each of the products separately for different reasons, and that is our strategy. And that's very important in terms of looking at the M&A deals over the past couple of years, especially in the risk-based authentication space. As the very latest is Symantec buying VeriSign. VeriSign is an authentication company. They do some out-of-band. They are on one of our lists. But they're definitely moving in the direction of it's not good enough to have now antivirus programs. You need authentication. You need other things. The movement is there. The money's being spent. These companies were bought out from $50 million up to $1.3 billion. So the opportunity is large and growing. And now it's moving more into the out-of-band authentication space. A number of the major deals we won in the past 6 months are companies specifically looking for out-of-band solution, meaning you're using your phone, you're doing emails, you're doing SMS as a way to authenticate the person at the other end. And again, I'll speak to 1 or 2 of those in particular in a few minutes. So we're very well positioned. We're very limited competition. We have the out-of-band patent, and that is very, very strong. And that between getting revenues and more clients and a lot of growth, and the regulations getting much stronger in saying you must use two-factor if you're using consumers through the internet. Healthcare is now saying you must use strong authentication as we move all the records to be a digital record. That's why we closed the Children's Hospital deal. So we believe we're at the very beginning of a sine curve that we actually have the proof in the numbers and the clients and the contracts that is starting to become more real and not just projections. And again, as we talked about on M&A side related to antivirus companies, malware, spyware, phishing attacks are left and right. I get them from IRS, PayPal, LinkedIn. They're so freaking good, I almost click on them. But I always right-click the properties, make sure it's some bogus bullshit URL, and walk away. And I know the business, and I come close. So they're getting better and better. I had a great one from American Airlines that my flight was canceled. Luckily, I remember I really didn't have a flight, but I came close to clicking on it. And I guarantee, because I don't know where I'm going from one day to the next, I guarantee you somebody in this room got caught by that. Well, you know what? You got caught, you clicked on it, you didn't lose money, you felt good. Wrong. What it did is put a virus on your computer. That virus is copying your keystrokes. Without my product, those keystrokes are out the door. If they feel you're worth enough money to them, which is the real embarrassment, you may not be, they might sell you on CNN for $100. And you could see the ads out there through the internet. So the real embarrassment is you may not be worth as much as you think you are to them, but they do this a dime a dozen. That's how identities get stolen. That's how data breaches occur. And it's at the beginning stage, the very beginning stage. And we're at the beginning stage of getting major deals because of it. There's some of the fundamentals of the company. All the products are proprietary to us. We own the patent fraud ban. We have a patent pending for keystroke encryption. That's freaking huge. On both cases, we have continuation patents that are very large. We do see that being a major play for us to get into the merger and acquisition area within the next 1 to 2 years. It's a hot space. We've got notable clients. The clients keep growing. We're a public company on the bulletin board, symbol SFOR. We are DTC fast and DRS eligible, which is pretty hard for a company trading below a penny to get. But we are there because we're very real, we're solid. We've been around since 2001. I've joined them since 2003 with a very strong management team. Now, just a few minutes on the clients, because I think this is very critical. We closed the deal this fall with Sallie Mae. That was after my presentation in October when I said we may have a deal, and nobody ever believes that until it's done. It's done, it's contracted, it's going into production because they're slow. 12 million loan users, 2,500 employees. The 2,500 employees, what are they doing? Dropping the RSA tokens. It's happening left and right. Why? Because they were breached. They're not as secure. They're predictable next numbers. You steal the algorithm, you're done. Lockheed lost millions of dollars because of that. We got companies calling us saying, we want to replace our tokens. What do you have? The beauty about our product is you can actually still use some tokens. You could use our out-of-band methods. You combine with other one-time password methods, voice biometrics. We have all those things running on our one platform in the cloud or in-house or a hybrid. And we're finding, like Sallie Mae, they want it in-house. They want to keep the databases. The cloud's a great concept, but nobody's going to trust putting their data out there, and for good reasons, by the way, as Yahoo got breached on that one. So it's never good, and we're closing those deals. So we won the Sallie Mae deal against RSA, VeriSign, Entrust, Phone Factor, Authentify, and others because of the breadth and depth of our product and the patent. CIC, another fantastic one. You may not know who they are, but they're one of the largest digital signature companies out there. They signed a major deal that was publicized with CSC for a lot of government agencies to use digital signatures. Well, now they're saying if we're using digital signatures, we also want to authenticate the person giving us the digital signature to make sure they are who they say they are. We closed that deal. They were first implementing Phone Factor. They learned about us. They shut them out. We're going in production next month. That'll be increasing revenues on a large basis over time. So the deals are getting done. Children's National Medical Center in this area got the deal. Again, they started looking at 2 others. They learned about us. We got the deal. We're closed. We're in production. It's building up. So this is just a constant wave of events happening day after day, week after week. Calls are coming in. We hired a PR firm. We're starting to spend money on PR, but never enough. And obviously, we're even starting to spend money on PR, which I still think is a waste, but you have to do a little of it. In terms of the numbers, the hardcore numbers, 2011 end of year gross revenues were $448,000, which is even 68% greater than 2010. Because of where we are now and being able to talk about forward-looking statements, as of the 6 months in this year, as of 6 months 2012, we already beat the 2011 numbers. Again, puts us totally on target to reach the 1 million plus number this year. And by the way, we already have POs being written, deals closed, contracts closed. That gets us over 250 to 300,000 in this quarter already. And then we have other deals that'll definitely get us over $1 million this year in place, contracted not paid yet. We have a great group of distributors that we built. Took 2 years to get them in Europe. They closed the deal with a major bank in Australia. They closed the deal for identity theft with banks in the UK that are done, finished. They just have to be implemented. And we can't speed them up, unfortunately. They might be third quarter, they might be fourth quarter, but they will be this year. Some large numbers of constantly increasing recurring revenues. Every one of these deals are constantly increasing recurring revenues. This past week, we got a major play. We didn't think we'd have a chance. We have an 80% chance now of closing the deal with a major distributor in Nigeria for Africa. And we're talking 200,000 tokens. Again, we're not a token company, but we sell tokens, and 500,000 out-of-band type solutions. And we'll have an answer to that the next month. We may get it, we may not. It's not included in any of my projections. I don't believe in anything until it's in hand. I've learned that lesson over the past 8 years, 50 billion times over. So on top of our projections over $1 million, $1.2 million, we have major deals worth double that money that are in the pipeline that have a shot at getting done. So we're very, very excited. And by the way, all these recurring revenues and increasing revenues are not increasing our cost base at all, because the majority of them are through distributors. Distributors do the support, they do the work. With Comcast, we have 4 million downloads through Comcast since last August. They're pushing out to 18 million people. Our level of support is 2 calls a month, maybe, because it's got to get through 3 levels. And it also means the products are that strong now, with all of what we've learned over the past couple of years, that they work beautifully in all Windows operating environments. So we're very, very bullish of where we're heading. First quarter, again, was 183,000. That was 83% of first quarter a year ago, 14% over fourth quarter, which was our best quarter in the past couple of years. So it just keeps getting better. I'm not going to talk anymore about the products, but we do have the patent for out-of-band. We do have a company out there leveraging it. We should see something hit the papers and waves by the end of this year. That alone could morph all these numbers, but I refuse to count a penny of it. But it's a major play in terms of getting the product bought out. And there are a number of companies that do talk to us on an irregular basis to see what makes sense or not. There's a lot more in here about the products, about some of the competitors in detail. You all have received or are receiving a USB drive. In that drive is the presentation and some documents, so you don't have to carry any more paper. This is the technology world we're in. Paper doesn't work. You're going to throw the paper out, but you might keep the drive because it's cute and it's reusable. So I appreciate that. You also received a free license for Guarded ID. So you will now have the capability of loading that product on your Windows computer. It doesn't work on a Mac yet. That version will be out by the end of the year. You'll be able to protect yourself from these keyloggers. 83% of all computers in this world have at least one keylogger on them at all times. 69% of those keyloggers are most likely to be viruses or keyloggers still in your keystrokes. Help yourselves out, download the program, play with it, learn it, call us if you don't understand it, but you will, and you're now safe, and it doesn't interfere with Norton, and Norton doesn't stop these things at all. Management team, I come out of 26 years at JP Morgan as a managing director. I had built their brokerage business from scratch in the early 90s and put it and implemented around the world. Ram Pamaraju is an inventor. He's a research guy. He's brilliant in telco. 11 years Bell Labs, Belcore. George Waller, major marketing, major sales experience over many, many years, comes up to ridiculous ideas and gets Ram doing all this research that I keep saying, don't do it, and then they become major products. So the three of us work well together, complement each other. We have the ability of having Steve Cooper, the first Homeland Security CIO, as the chairman of our advisory board. He gives us ideas. He helps us with feedback, connects us to people. Just a great person to have be connected to and be associated with. So in conclusion, we're looking for $300,000 in capital. It would help us a lot more towards increasing PR, increasing the work, and getting the word out there. The reason we don't have more sales is most people don't know we exist. Every time we get a deal, they say, how come we didn't know you were out there? So every time we get involved, we win. Our suite of products are there. They're baked. They're in production. They're patented. They're starting to make a wave. Everything's moving towards what we have. This truly is the very beginning of a sine curve that we are starting to see the success. It's in the contracts. It's in the numbers. These aren't just projections. It's no longer just talk. It's happening in a wave of RSA tokens are getting killed. Everyone is moving towards out-of-band and specifically asking for it. So we ask you to all take a good look at what we're doing. Enjoy your free whatever the USB things, take a look at it. I'll be around all day. I can give you demos. And thank you very much for your time.